I don't talk a lot about the actor studio. It's where many actors were trained. I can tell you this: it's not very easy to get into. You can try it. I tried it first coming out of Texas, and the first time I didn't get in it. The second time out of Hollywood is when I got into it. So I can tell you, I don't know, James Lipton's probably in his 90s now. He's probably the most important or influential, let's say one of the most influential producers and teachers and deans in the business, even though Will Ferrell, people make fun of him and stuff. When they go back and look at the man, he was brilliant. He spoke many languages. He was dedicated to the arts, especially to theater and to film, and was produced many things and came up with an Emmy award-winning show and had many students and everything. But what I can say is that it was very difficult to get in, and I had to get special training out of Hollywood to find a way to get accepted. I couldn't do it just on my own. I'll just put it that way. The studio is there. The actor studio has been there because actors can't always do it on their own. Orson Welles tried. I mean, he still had help from other actors. He was in big with ensembles. Orson Welles was kind of an independent filmmaker actor. But the thing about the actor studio is that I think some of it is at a point sacred. I think Cooper talked about that in his interview when he was interviewed by Lipton about it at times being sacred. And I think that goes back to Martha Graham and other dancers that were a part of actors and movement, and not just that too, but in speech and in voice, because we're trained like opera singers. That's why Bradley has a Grammy, or that's why he has a or he helped Lady Gaga with what he did, was because we're trained not only just to be actors, but also we're trained to sing and in song and stuff to survive on Broadway is for musical theater. See, the thing about the actor studio that people don't realize is that it was there for musical theater people. So you had these actors that were on Broadway that were part of musical theater, and they wanted to go to a certain school or studio to learn about Chekhov, or to learn about Ibsen, or to learn about realistic acting, so that they're not just doing musicals for the remaining of their lives, so that they can focus on their personality and who they are. And that's kind of where the school came from. And that's kind of what we were studying. We're studying not just musical theater only, but there are many musical theater people that were part of that school. And I think that they say the method was invented for the sake of film, but I don't think it was really even invented. I think it's just an intense study of a role, or an intense study of a personality, or an intense study of a play or of a story. I think I think what Strasberg was trying to get at was we intensely study something. We go above and beyond the other actors to study something in an obsessive kind of way. It is obsessive, but we lose ourselves in the study, and then the role protrudes. So, and that could be even in music. Music, even songwriting. Songwriting is like a play. Filmmaking is also like a play, right? You have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You have 3 acts, or you have 1 act, but still one act has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or you have 2 acts or 3 acts, or you have a beginning part, a middle, and an end. But I think in the method, I think what it is about finding your own personality and finding what works for you, and then going along with it. While the system, which goes all the way back to Stanislavski and the Moscow Art Theater, I think what Stanislavski was about was more sticking to like a systematic approach, which I don't think the method does. There's no real systematic approach on it. There's some ideas behind it, but there's no one way to really do it. And a lot of them will use all these different techniques and everything. But I guess I'm just doing this post because I know that it seems like some of the things I do that is obsessive, but I think what it is it's a matter of trying something over and over again until you start to find some type of result. And maybe it's just a slight difference. Maybe it's something that's very small. Maybe it's not even something that you can really notice, but it's maybe something that I notice. But any type of art that you do, it doesn't have to be the method. It can be in painting or in filmmaking and writing. You have to work hard at it. I mean, some people, like Sam Shepard, would talk about how he'd go drive until it almost felt like parts of his body were falling off. And I think that was one thing he didn't like to fly. But another thing, too, was I think it's about getting away from the mundane sometimes, or your regular routine, and then going off and really living life. Like, go climb a mountain or go off and do something different. I think what makes acting such an honorable profession is, one thing, it's not menial, but many actors have menial jobs, right? Like they wait tables, or they deliver stuff, or they do ride share, or they'll do different things, whatever it may be. But what makes acting great is that it's not menial. It's honorable. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody does. Everybody wants to be an actor. Everybody does. It doesn't matter who you are. If you say that you don't want to be an actor, you're a fucking liar. You are a liar. Everybody wants to do that. Even musicians want to do that. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be like a movie star. Everybody wants to be able to tell their story. Everybody loves to tell stories. Everybody wants to be an actor. It's honorable. And it's a big deal. Acting and music is a big deal. So that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about James Lipton and I'm talking about the Actor Studio. Yeah, you can make fun of it and laugh and laugh. There'll be a time you laugh, but there'll also be a time that you will cry. You'll cry eventually, because it'll make you cry. And my suggestion is, if you don't want to go through a bunch of suffering, don't do it. Go sit in your recliner, go to your 9-to-5 job, be boring, live a stupid life, have your family, get fat, die. But if you do want to be an actor, you're going to starve, you're going to hurt, you're going to feel real pain, but you're really going to live. If you do want to be a filmmaker, you're going to starve, you're going to hurt, you're going to feel real pain, and you're going to live. If you want to be a musician, you're going to starve, you're going to hurt, you're going to feel real pain, and you're going to live. You're going to really live life. And that's what people really want. So don't be jealous. If you want to do it, then just do it. Leave your family. It's like there were 2 books that were given to the frontiermen when they went off into the frontier. There was the Bible and there was Pilgrim's Progress. In Pilgrim's Progress, he leaves his family, which is what this kind of story probably is. I'm meeting different people. I'm running across different apartment complexes. I'm doing different things. Later on, you'll get it. You'll understand it. Right now, you're wrapped up in Hulu and Netflix and doing your own thing or whatever it may be. And that's fine. You know, you can watch your mundane thing, whatever, for your own purpose. But I think in Pilgrim's Progress, which is a hard book to read, I think what it is that it's these different steps that you have to go through until you get to your celestial city, right? Christian starts off, I think, at home. Then he leaves his family and he goes off on this adventure. Some men get to do that. Some men don't, okay? So if you want your family to be your mission, that's your thing. But not all artists can always have that. It doesn't mean that I'll never have my family, but it means that I have to go on this adventure for whatever reason that may be. I'm just titling this one, Acting in Music is, I would say it's a hard life, but I don't want to say that. I'm just gonna acting, music, and filmmaking is what I'm going to title it.